Everyone claims modern batteries die faster than they used to, lasting barely 3 years when older ones survived a decade. But a veteran mechanic with 30 years under the hood told me something that completely changed how I maintain vehicles. Batteries don't fail on their own. Owners destroy them without realizing it. Most drivers fundamentally misunderstand how car batteries actually function. They assume starting the engine and driving away is enough. Behind that compact power block lies a living electrochemical organism, sensitive to temperature fluctuations, physical vibrations, and your everyday driving patterns. The difference between a battery dying at 2 years versus lasting 10 isn't brand recognition or purchase price, it's proper care. Today, I'm revealing maintenance secrets workshops rarely share, because if everyone applied these techniques, they'd sell dramatically fewer replacement units. These are simple habits, surprisingly effective, capable of literally doubling battery lifespan. Your battery doesn't need replacement, it needs attention. So settle in comfortably, because this isn't about buying new batteries, it's about learning to protect what you already own. Number 12. Remove all unnecessary connected accessories. Among the worst enemies of contemporary batteries isn't weather or mileage, it's electrical parasites. Phone chargers left in sockets, ambient LED lighting strips, external dash cameras, GPS units, screen-equipped radios that stay powered even after shutdown. Each draws tiny amounts continuously, even while parked. Seems insignificant, but this constant micro-drain day after day slowly empties your battery, leaving it teetering on collapse. Worse yet, many modern vehicles have electronic systems never fully shutting down. Sensors, security alarms, comfort modules. Add connected accessories and your battery never rests. Result? After several unused days, you try starting and hear only that distinctive click-click from the starter motor, followed by dead silence. Therefore, Rule 1, disconnect every non-essential accessory. If using USB chargers or electric pumps, unplug them immediately after use. For LED strips or cameras powered through 12-volt systems, ensure they're wired to circuits cutting power with the ignition. Be honest, your battery isn't a solar farm. Leaving chargers plugged overnight commits voluntary energy suicide. When you visit the shop, they'll claim it reached end of life, but time wasn't the culprit. Poor habits. Number 11. Periodic terminal cleaning with baking soda. Ever opened your hood to find that white or greenish crusty layer coating battery terminals? That buildup is sulfate, a silent enemy of proper electrical contact. It creates barriers between terminals and cables, restricting current flow like trying to communicate through concrete walls. Consequences: slower cranking, dimmer lights, and your alternator working overtime to compensate, accelerating its wear. The solution is both simple and effective. Baking soda cleaning. Mix some baking soda with water. 1 tablespoon per glass suffices, and apply with a brush or old toothbrush onto terminals. Baking soda neutralizes the sulfuric acid causing corrosion, and you'll watch foam bubble almost like sparkling. Rinse with clean water afterward and dry thoroughly, then apply a thin Vaseline layer or dielectric grease protecting contacts. This straightforward action prevents hundreds of failed starts and extends alternator life. Think of your battery as the vehicle's heart. Baking soda becomes its preventative cardiology. When terminals wear corrosion coatings, current can't flow properly, the alternator strains harder, and eventually your car exhibits symptoms resembling electrical anemia. Several cleaning minutes every 3 months can mean the difference between a battery lasting 3 years versus reaching 10 without issue. If you never open the hood, conduct visual inspections at least monthly. Spotting white or green powder? Don't ignore it. Your battery is silently calling for help. Number 10. Check electrolyte levels and add only distilled water. Many believe maintenance-free batteries are magical, never requiring attention, but that's not entirely accurate. Actually, all lead-acid batteries lose water over time through internal evaporation. In warm climates, this loss accelerates further. The electrolyte, that sulfuric acid and water mixture, must remain at levels covering internal plates. If levels drop too low, plates become exposed to air, oxidize, and permanently lose charging capacity. It's like your car's heart drying from within. The inspection is straightforward. If your battery has caps, even maintenance-free ones often hide them beneath stickers. Remove them and verify liquid covers the plates. When low, add only distilled water, never tap water. Ordinary water contains minerals reacting with acid and accelerating internal corrosion. Important detail: never refill after using the vehicle. Always do this with a cold engine, because liquid expands under heat. If your battery has sealed cells, check for swelling or deformation indicating overcharging, alternator problems, or voltage regulator issues. Some manufacturers even sell kits with measurement syringes or hydrometers. But if you prefer simplicity, checking levels 2 or 3 times yearly suffices. Consider it this way. A battery with balanced electrolyte resembles a well-hydrated athlete. It can withstand heat, cold, and long dormant periods, but a dry battery is doomed to slow death regardless of what premium brand name appears on top. Number 9. Protect battery from extreme heat. Homemade thermal insulator. Living in tropical countries, opening the hood after driving resembles opening an oven mid-bake. Under-hood temperatures easily exceed 80 degrees Celsius. Guess who sits there receiving all that heat directly? Your battery. Excessive heat accelerates electrolyte evaporation, dries cells, and increases internal corrosion, equivalent to microwaving your battery. In warm climates, this is the #1 reason for premature failure. But there's a simple, inexpensive, effective solution: creating a homemade thermal shield. Simply wrap your battery, without covering terminals or ventilation openings, with thermal foam layered externally with aluminum foil sheets. This technique, used by many drivers in Japan and Middle Eastern regions, works like battery air conditioning. Aluminum reflects heat, while foam acts as insulation, reducing compartment internal temperature. Some modern cars include factory-installed insulation covers, but most older or budget vehicles lack them. If yours doesn't, you can build one in 10 minutes. Interesting fact, this practice can increase battery lifespan by 30% in warm climates. Heat kills batteries faster than time ever will. And if wondering, no, aluminum doesn't cause short circuits provided you properly insulate terminals. Just avoid direct metal contact with poles. Test this. If after driving you can place your hand on the battery without burning, you're fine. If it resembles a grill, then as some mechanics say, your battery's already in roasted chicken mode. During Latin American summers, the hood becomes an oven and your battery is the main course. Protect it. Number 8. Maintain voltage between 12.4 and 12.7 volts. A fully charged car battery should indicate between 12.6 and 12.7 volts at rest. Dropping below 12.4 volts means partial discharge. Falling to 12 or less signals sulfation danger. But what does sulfation mean? It's the process where sulfate crystals adhere to internal lead plates. With each deep discharge or each day without full charging, these crystals grow like stone layers inside the battery. Over time, this layer prevents acid from properly reaching lead, reducing capacity and performance. Therefore, experienced drivers use digital multimeters controlling actual battery voltage. This inexpensive tool costs less than pizza and gives you key knowledge whether your battery is healthy or needs urgent charging. Here's usage. Turn off engine and all electrical consumers. Place red multimeter probe on positive terminal, black on negative. Read the value. Ideally maintain it always between 12.4 and 12.7. If frequently dropping below despite non-use, something's draining power. An accessory, alarm, or electronic module. And warning about the reverse. Excess voltage also kills. If the alternator charges above 14.8, it overcharges cells and slowly boils the battery. In other words, batteries don't die from age, but from lack of control. Like us, leave them powerless, they weaken. Overcharge them, they burn out. Without a multimeter, at least notice signs like slow cranking or lights flickering when accelerating. These are first warnings that voltage isn't stable. Remember, maintaining batteries in their ideal range not only protects them, but also relieves alternator strain, improves starter performance, and prevents damage to vehicle electronic modules. Number 7. Avoid deep discharges below 50%. Most drivers don't know that every time lead-acid batteries discharge below 50%, they suffer irreversible chemical damage. Technically, they still function, but lose capacity and performance forever. Deep discharge equals leaving your car unused for days with interior lights on, or electrical systems draining power without recharging. When this happens, internal plates coat with thick sulfate layers no longer fully reversible. Even using smart chargers, symptoms are clear. Slower engine cranking, lights flickering during startup, radio resetting or losing memory. In modern cars, false dashboard errors appear. ABS malfunction, low system voltage, tire pressure monitoring system warnings. Worst part? Many believe they can revive batteries simply using jumper cables or boosters. Yes, the car starts, but internal damage already occurred. A battery at 50% typically indicates between 12.1 and 12.2 volts. Falling to 11.9 volts puts it on collapse edge. Therefore, if not using your car for several days, connect a battery maintainer or trickle charger. This small device keeps batteries charged without overcharging, simulating alternator function. Here's a comparison explaining how important avoiding deep discharges is. Every time batteries discharge below 50%, it's like suffering chemical heart attacks. They might survive the first, maybe the second, but not many more. So now you know, if your car will sit idle, don't abandon it to fate. Charge it, start at least weekly, or use a maintainer, because stationary batteries die faster than your motivation to work on rainy Mondays. If you thought battery care only meant cleaning and measuring voltage, wait. The next tricks not only protect them but can make them self-regenerate, as if possessing self-healing powers, because the smartest engineers and veteran mechanics know how to awaken batteries before declaring them dead. If you've never done any of these things, relax, most people don't. But subscribe and leave a like, because upcoming tricks are what racing mechanics use making batteries outlast the cars themselves. Number 6. Monthly use of smart chargers. There's enormous difference between charging batteries and keeping them alive. Smart chargers are modern drivers' most underestimated tool. They don't just recover dead batteries, but extend their lives by maintaining them at optimal chemical points. The secret lies in float mode or maintenance mode. When batteries reach full charge, chargers automatically reduce current and keep sending electrical micropulses, preventing sulfation. It's like keeping batteries in Zen states, fully charged, relaxed, and balanced. During this process, internal cells balance each other, meaning none are overcharged or excessively discharged. Simply put, all cells work at the same level, preventing one weakening and dragging down others. Ideally, connect chargers once monthly for several hours or leave connected overnight if your car sits unused long-term. More modern models are automatic and can stay connected without overcharging risk. If this seems excessive, consider smart chargers cost less than battery replacements and can double their durability. In countries like Japan and Germany, authorized workshops recommend regular use, especially in hybrid vehicles or those with multiple electronic systems. Summarizing, smart chargers equal sending your battery to monthly spas. It emerges clean, balanced, and rejuvenated, ready for another season of hard work. Number 5. Check alternator voltage and belt. Here enters the silent villain behind many premature battery deaths. The alternator. Most never check it until cars won't start. But alternators don't just charge batteries, they also determine their long-term health. When alternators deliver less voltage than needed, batteries slowly discharge even while vehicles are operating. When delivering too much, overcharging boils electrolyte, damages plates, and shortens life. Worst part, dashboards don't always warn. You might have functioning alternators delivering a regular voltage to check. Simply use multimeters. Start the engine, place meter probes on battery terminals. You should see between 13.8 and 14.4 volts. Less than that, alternator or regulator failing. More than that, regulator overcharging battery. But there's another detail almost nobody checks: the alternator belt. If loose or worn, alternators don't spin at proper speeds and don't generate sufficient current. Belts should have maximum deflection of 1.5 centimeters when pressed at midpoints. Sagging more or hearing squeals at startup means slipping, and slipping alternators charge less, translating to prematurely dying batteries. Bottom line, check voltage and belt tension every 2 to 3 months because often batteries don't die from age. Alternators kill them without your knowledge. Number 4. Apply Vaseline or dielectric grease to terminals. This trick seems so simple, most ignore it, but it's among the most powerful. After cleaning terminals with baking soda or anti-corrosion spray, applying thin Vaseline layers or dielectric grease creates protective barriers preventing oxygen and moisture corrosion. Why important? Because corrosion acts like invisible walls preventing current flow between cables and batteries. This generates voltage losses, starting difficulties, and false weak battery symptoms. Additionally, when terminals are dirty, alternators must work harder maintaining charges, wearing both components. Conversely, with clean and protected terminals, current flows without resistance and batteries work relaxed without unnecessary effort. The recommended material is ordinary Vaseline. Nothing more expensive or exotic needed, although you can also use dielectric grease offering identical protection with more durable finishes. Now a warning, don't overdo it. Apply thin layers only covering metal surfaces. Leaving excess causes dust and dirt sticking, potentially causing reverse effects. A bit of humor here. Yes, Vaseline. Don't laugh. It works better than many miracle solutions sold in workshops. Unlike those $20 premium sprays, this trick costs pennies and protects equally well or better. This small gesture, repeated every 6 months, can prevent thousands in electrical repairs. Because what kills batteries isn't always chemistry, But silent oxidation, nobody cleans. So far, you've seen how to maintain battery health, but the final 3 secrets are another league. These make batteries not just survive, but last 10 years like nothing happened. Get ready, because what's coming is pure professional workshop knowledge explained in ways anyone can apply at home. Number 3. Remove sulfation using controlled charging cycles. This is the resurrection method, what many consider impossible. True technicians accomplish with patience, recovering old batteries, still having hope. Over time, internal plates coat with lead sulfate, crystalline deposits forming when batteries spend too much time discharged or half-charged. This layer acts like walls, preventing proper chemical reactions, and useful capacity reduces. But here's the trick. Sulfate isn't permanent if acting in time. It can be reversed through controlled, slow-charging rest cycles. Here's how experienced mechanics do it. First, they charge batteries slowly using low-current chargers between 2 and 4 amps. Next, they let them rest 12 to 24 hours, so internal chemical reactions stabilize. Then they repeat processes, but with even slower charging, maintenance type mode, for another 12 hours. This cycle of stressing and relaxing batteries helps gradually dissolve sulfate crystals, freeing active plate surfaces. Result? Batteries many would declare dead can recover up to 90% of original capacity, and no, laboratories aren't required. With smart chargers and some patience, anyone can do this. Just remember, never use fast or intensive charging because excess heat can warp plates and damage electrolyte. An old mechanic used to joke, "Batteries are like people. If you push them too fast, they burn out. But if you care for them calmly, they rejuvenate." So now you know, if you have batteries seeming weak, give them chances. They might not be old, just needing chemical rejuvenation sessions. Number 2. Disconnect negative terminals if not using car for weeks. If not using cars for weeks, this trick is so simple it seems obvious, but almost nobody applies it. Every time you leave cars parked long-term, thousands of small electrical vampires still drain energy. Dashboard clocks, alarms, central locking systems, even radio modules. They might not individually draw much, but over days, drainage is constant, like leaving dripping faucets. After 3 weeks, batteries are dry. And here comes the example happening to everyone. Maria left her car at the airport before vacation trips. 2 weeks later, she returned relaxed with luggage and smiles, but her car? Nothing. Absolute silence when she turned keys. All she heard was funeral clicks. She had to call tow trucks, pay for charging, and pray batteries survived the culprit nobody noticed. Her alarm still drew power day and night. Therefore, if leaving cars at rest more than 10 days, the best trick is disconnecting negative battery terminals. This way, you completely interrupt electrical flow, avoiding slow discharge. A disconnected battery outlives a neglected one. Just use appropriate wrenches and loosen negative terminals. When returning, reconnect them and done. Batteries will be identical to the day you left them. If not wanting to do this manually every time, there's another option: installing quick disconnect switches. Small knobs interrupting current with single turns, costing few dollars and potentially saving thousands on replacements. Small warning: if your car is modern with complex electronic systems like factory GPS or alarms, check manuals before totally disconnecting batteries. Some cars might lose minor settings, but nothing irreparable after reconnecting. Remember, batteries don't self-discharge. They drain because cars never fully sleep. Number 1. Master trick: maintain monthly voltage checking habits. And we reach the true secret. There's no magical formula, miracle additives, or baking soda rituals worth as much as this. Routine batteries lasting 10 years aren't special. The owners who dedicate 5 monthly minutes checking them are special. With multimeters or portable battery testers costing less than fast food today, you can measure resting voltage and detect problems before they appear. If readings drop below 12.4 volts, something's wrong. Maybe alternators, parasitic draws, or weak cells. Exceeding 12.7. Ideal. Batteries are at optimal points. This habit doesn't just prevent breakdowns, but gives you control. You won't depend on surprises or mechanics saying batteries are dead and need replacing. You'll know when they need help and when they don't. Best part? With monthly checks, you can detect patterns. For instance, if noticing it loses charge faster month to month, it might indicate sulfation or hidden drains. This trick has interesting side effects. Drivers regularly measuring batteries also end up better maintaining entire vehicles. It's psychological. You start with voltmeters and end up cleaning terminals, adjusting alternator belts, even checking oil. So the real secret isn't chemical or electrical. It's persistence. Well-maintained batteries don't age. They simply fulfill duties for years without complaining. Add all previous tricks: cleaning, controlled charging, voltage maintenance, protected terminals, smart charger use, and you can achieve what seems impossible. Batteries lasting decades without losing soul. Batteries lasting 10 years aren't miraculous. They have disciplined owners. And now you're already one of them. If you found this valuable, please hit that like button and subscribe to EngineIQ for more game-changing car care secrets. How long did your last battery survive? Drop your experience in the comments below.